Hey guys, hope you're doing good. Hope you're eating right, sleeping right, and drinking your water, which is really good. So, sidebar, before I jump into what I have to talk to you about today. So, sidebar, I went to the grocery store yesterday and I was trying to figure out what I want to eat. Hi, Call Your Doula. Thank you for joining as always. So, I was just letting people know for who's joining. I went to the grocery store yesterday and I'm figuring out what I want to eat. I don't know, I feel like my taste bud has definitely changed. I'm trying not to eat meat anymore because when I eat chicken or any meat based, it doesn't satisfy me no more, and I don't know why. I'm just not into it. Hey, thank you. And I'm just like, I don't want this. You probably could hear my daughter in the background. She's with my mother right now. So just letting you know, you probably figure out what's that noise. It's her. She's talking. But when I went to the grocery store, I'm thinking about what I want to eat. And I'm just like, I go to the snack aisle because I want some snacks. I haven't been eating snacks lately. And all I see is cookies, chips. And I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want that. So my mom, she wanted me to pick her up some granola bars. And I was thinking about maybe trying to incorporate that into my diet. It's Nature Valley. I always liked it when I was pregnant. So I might try to start eating more granola, maybe some oatmeal in the morning, and really just trying to change up what I eat because I just don't want the food anymore. I don't know why, but my diet has changed. And I'm going to buy an air fryer today. And I want to try to do some healthier foods. I was thinking about doing something with sweet potatoes. I'm not a sweet potato fan, but I'm going to get into it because I know it's nutritional for me. And just try to figure out different type of foods I can eat besides meat. And I'm going to do some research about that. I used to use the app Yumly when I was pregnant and I couldn't eat meat. And I was able to create some different dishes with that. So I'm going to use that app and see how that takes me. And that might be my next live. I don't know if I can do live before the fact I'm cooking. But that might be another segment for me. Try to do something incorporating my different changes of foods. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Alright, so we're going to go into it today. I want to let you know about my goals. I want to help as many millennials as I can who's dealing with depression, as well as a parent who has a child or children dealing with depression, as well as teacher or caregiver who works with teens that are struggling with depression, and anybody that comes to your mind that you know that's struggling with their depression. Let them know about me. Come send them my way because I always want to help as many people as I can. Since I'm going through depression, I know. And we're all in this together. If you got to tell them about me, I can help them. We're all in this together, like they all say with the whole pandemic and everything. All right, so we're going to go into today's topic. And today's topic is how you can help somebody who's dealing with depression. So this is from the Healthline. And I just want to give you guys some more facts. I like to give you facts, give you more knowledge. More knowledge is power. We all know that. And they said 300 million adults and children live with depression. Now, this was an older study, but that could have definitely elevated since the whole pandemic. But just before the whole pandemic, it's 300 million people that's dealing with depression. Just think about that, how big that number is. Somebody you know is dealing with depression. Even that you may not even know they're dealing with depression, but they are. So it's 300 million people. That's a lot of people. And people need help. They need support. So this is how you can help that person or a loved one. So listen to them. It's number one. They said listen to them. So if it's a friend or a loved one, let them know that you are there for them. You are there for them if they want to talk to you. But be patient. If they don't want to talk to you, don't take it personal. That's another one. But don't take it personal. Call Your Doula said definitely up since the pandemic. Yes, it really has. And it's all in the news. It's all in the news. So I know a lot more people are dealing with depression as well as other stuff too. So they have depression, maybe anxiety because of, the fact of they don't want to get sick or scared of touching things or being around people. So they're paranoid. So it's a lot of other stuff that's, with the whole pandemic. And then, not having a job or something like that. Call Your Doula says, especially in the birthing people and families. Yes. When I had my daughter, this was pre-pandemic, even though it kind of was pandemic, but we didn't know. I had her in December. So even when I was pregnant with the whole Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that, supposedly it was around, but we didn't know. So when after I had her, I was always particular who was around her. So I was more concerned about the flu. And I'm like, I don't want people who are sick getting her sick because she just came out in this world. And then in March, that's when we all was known about the whole pandemic. Then I was like, I'm definitely not letting people around her. Even till this day, I'm kind of skeptical about who's around her because I still know the whole virus is around. So, yes, thank you, Call Your Doula, for that. So going back to what I was saying, listen to them. Try to start a conversation by sharing your concerns. So an example will be, it seems like you've been having a hard time lately. What's on your mind? Just being so open but not so direct, like, I know you're sad and depressed right now. Tell me what's going on. No, don't be so direct, especially because it's a little overwhelming. Just someone, like, if someone will come to me, even if say for instance I'm not depressed, someone just coming to me like, I know something's wrong. Tell me now. It's like, whoa, what are you doing? Call Your Doula says, gotta be safe. Yes, gotta be safe. Extra safe, especially for this pandemic. And even when I'm around people, I'm cautious of who I'm around to this day. Because I know I'm with my daughter. She's young. So that's all in my mind. But I'm not as paranoid as I was in the beginning. In the beginning, I really was paranoid. I feel like the whole world was. So now I kind of like lessen. I'm basically around family a lot. So I'm just going to take it for there. Hey, thank you for coming, babe, finally. No, I'm just joking. I'm just playing with you. So going back, listening to them. So another point will be, keep in mind that your friend may want to talk about what they feel, but they may not want your advice. So my next one will be giving advice, but I'm going to continue with this. So engage with your friend or loved one by using active listening skills. So one will be asking questions to get more information instead of assuming you understand what they're going through. If you're not going through depression, don't say, I understand what you're going through. I've been there. Especially if you haven't been there. Because then it's like, now you're mocking me. Don't mock me. Number 2, validate their feelings. You might say, it sounds really difficult. I'm sorry to hear that. And number 3 will be, show empathy and interest in your body language. My boyfriend would definitely tell you about body language. He's like, he has a PhD degree in body language. He's really great. So if you're talking to someone and you're just like talking, but you're showing that you really don't care, that's counteracting. So they're talking to you, but you're showing off on your body language, because your body will tell you what your mouth is not telling you. So if your body's giving me off vibes like I really don't want to care, but I'm just trying to act like I care, don't do that. Be really interested and be empathetic and actually understand what they're going through. If not, don't say anything. Don't go through it. Don't have a conversation, because now that trust is going to be broken. And you don't want your trust to be broken with your loved one or a friend, especially if they're going through a time like this, because they're not going to want to open up to you. So I said that. And my next one will be, if your loved one don't want to talk, like I said before, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. And try to have conversations in person rather than on phone. Because on the phone you can lie. I'm fine. I also have a defense mechanism too. Like, people ask me, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good. Like a general thing. I'm good. But really, like, some people know what I'm going through. So they're like, oh, she's good. But is she really good? So being in person, you can tell, like body language again, you can tell if a person's really good or not really good. So number 2, Help them find support, like finding a therapist or any mental health advisor, anybody like that. It can be hard, especially if they want to get help but don't know where to start. So if you're that friend or loved one, try to help them find support, or try to help them find a therapist or a doctor in that field. So like I said before, finding a therapist might be difficult. Encourage them to make that first appointment. So they can find a therapist or go to a doctor, but when they go to that actual appointment, they might reschedule or not go. So try to be their support system, like, oh, I'll drive you there to the appointment, or I'll go with you, so they won't back out, especially if they need the help but don't want to go. So the next one will be number 3, support your friend or loved one and continue in therapy. So sometimes during therapy sessions, they may have some low times where they feel like, okay, I don't want to go right now, or I'm not in the mood. So encourage them, and you can say, last week you said that the session was really productive and you felt a whole lot better after the session. What if today is like that? So you can try to encourage them by saying words like that. I always will say, try to educate yourself before you try to help somebody. If you don't educate yourself, you can do more harm. So try to educate yourself about depression and how to help. I'm only going to give you certain things to how you can help. But in that conversation, you should really do some research first before you start having that conversation, because you can sway the person left or right. And we don't want that. And my next point will be, let them know that therapy is working if it is working for them. Remind them constantly, therapy is working for you. Keep going. Yeah, you might feel low right now. I can help you. Do you want to get some breakfast or lunch before we go? Try to encourage them to go to the therapy session, especially if they're not in the mood. So number 4 will be, take care of yourself. When you have a loved one or a friend that's going through depression or any mental illness, it is draining. It is very draining. So this is how you can help yourself. Number 1, you need to be strong in your mind, and you need to be well. Because if you're not, you can't help somebody. Number 2, if you don't, wait, I'm going to just read this 1 second. Number 2, do your research. Sorry, I wrote it really weird. Number 2, do your research on how you can effectively help somebody. And number 3, set boundaries. So if you need to schedule a time of where you can go to the person's house, you go to the person's house, or over the phone if you can't, if you're long distance. But try to do video chat or FaceTime, whatever it might be, Zoom, to actually have face-to-face conversation with the person. So you want to set boundaries. If you don't set boundaries, it will exhaust you and you'll be drained. And you don't want the depression consume you as well. We don't want that. You're a support system for that person. So you want to support them. So if you need to set boundaries like, hey, today is not a good day because of X, Y, and Z, tell them. And then say, well, tomorrow. And then as the time that you have a break, try to do some meditation. Try to focus. Write down. Sometimes if they're telling you a lot of stuff, try to be exhausting. So you need to know, do your research as well. Do your research and see how, see how, by doing your research, if you feel like it's a good fit for you. My main point. If you don't feel like you're up for the job, just try not to do it. Just try to check up on a person and just try, keep it minimal. So a great point will be spending a lot of time with the loved one who has depression can take an emotional toll. Know your limits around difficult emotions and make sure you take the time to recharge. You don't want to overdo yourself. Don't overdo it because, like I said, we don't want their depression to consume you. Energy is very powerful. If you're around negative energy, you're going to get that negative energy. So if you're a positive force, you have to continue to be that positivity. So that means you got to be good within yourself. So set your boundaries. My daughter's screaming. Set your boundaries, and you have to know what you can do and what you can't do for yourself, and then tell the person like, okay, I can't do this right now, but I'm always here for you. Text, do something. Don't just like back out, because then you're not being very helpful. So number 5, learn about depression. Like I said before, get your research done. Know the symptoms. Know when, like how, know the symptoms, the causes, and the treatments on your own. So say for instance your loved one or family member is getting medication. No, like help them with the process. Do your own research. Talk to a doctor, talk to a therapist, so you're there for them. And number 6, the last one, offer help with every day-to-day task. When a person is dealing with depression, it's draining and it's exhausting. So you can help with laundry, grocery shopping, paying your bills, well, paying their bills actually, paying their bills. Or well, with the pandemic, it's not many parties you can do. But if you're having people over all the time and they decline, let them know that you can always come. If you say no and you change your mind, you can come. You don't want them to think that, oh, since I said no, I can't come now. Let them know you can always come. You're always, you can help somebody. There's always